This is the day where we have 80 jerseys that blend into one blue river. One blue river that flows constantly. The end of the river, the empty end of the sea as one. That's how we roll.
Same here, Pro Sarah.
Hello, how are you, Coach Walsh?
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Season 5 of the Serra High School Football Podcast.
Wow, it's been 5 years, huh?
Yeah, it's been fun getting old with you.
yeah. That's I turned 50 this year. Like it was and my apologies to those who are, decades older than me. Welcome. But there was a time right after my birthday, like maybe a month after, where someone goes, "Oh, how old are you?" And I'm like,
Yeah. That's hard to say.
I was like, wow, because 40 was cool, 41, 38, 39, 40, 46, 47. It just kind of really didn't resonate. All of a sudden, I'm like, 50. Wow.
Well, at least you're just going to say 50, not in your 50s.
Right,
plural,
I get it.
So.
No, I get it. That's what I'm saying. My apologies to anyone older than me, but I just got to say, it just kind of hit me. It was like 50. That's half a century. That's 5 decades. You can just do all the math, and it was interesting. So yeah, here we are. We are getting older together.
We are, and you have done a lot in those 50 years. So, and we like to talk about it. So,
Okay.
yeah, welcome back to another season. There's so much to talk about today. It's been so fun to watch you guys get back at it. Tell us about just how did the off season go and the training that started in June, and just kind of just assess this team for us, if you will.
Yeah. Well, the training started actually started in December for us. Obviously our season it ended earlier than traditional, so a lot of the guys wanted to get in that weight room right away, so we did.
That's great.
Yeah, so a lot of these guys have been working out since our post playoff last year, and in December, January, February, and majority of our kids play multiple sports. We have 80% of our kids are 2-sport athletes, maybe even more now, with track and rugby and everything. So we had a great baseball year. We won the CCS, and that was really great to see. Had some football players out there. So, kids do a lot of things around here. But as we get into the summertime, we get into January, February, or June, July, August, things start to really heat up. So I'm proud of the guys. We got our track test recently. The guys did very, very well. So we have this track test where we run a 400, a 300, 3 200s, and 5 100s. And it's like a standardized test almost, like the SAT. And Giovanni Henley is, I will say, the fastest Serra Padre we've ever had in the track test.
Amazing.
So he beat...
That's hard to say after Jaden Green too, right? I mean,
Jaden's top 5, but the Sione Laulea for the Oregon Ducks currently, it was our number one track runner of all time, and now it's Gio Henley.
That's wonderful. That's exciting.
Yeah, it was great.
So how frequently do you guys do the track tests during the season?
Just once.
Just once. Okay.
Yeah.
Just one time.
And we don't scrimmage here at Serra. It's a unique thing for us. So we didn't scrimmage last week, which is a double-edged sword. So a lot of the questions you're going to ask me could be met with, I don't know. We haven't really competed yet. We definitely haven't done a scrimmage. So it'll be interesting, but our scrimmage, if you will, is the track test. It's the culmination of our conditioning, culmination of our off-season program where we have this test, and it's been great. And I was very proud of the guys. They ran hard. It was tough. The wind was blowing into their face down the last stretch. So I was proud of their effort.
That's great. That's wonderful. And like you said, so you've been practicing frequently, or steadily, I should say, since June.
Yeah.
And that's with lifts and with obviously
football. Yeah.
itself.
So our summer we do about an hour a day of football, and then we run and lift for 90 minutes. So it's about 2.5 hours and 3 hours in the summertime, with some time off on the 4th of July break, and then around August. So we take a lot of time off. Hopefully we're building a team for December. So that's why we give most time off. We give a lot of time off in the summer, probably more than most high schools. Mm-hmm. And that was because I learned as a young coach, I would burn the team out. And we were just like falling apart in October, and that's not really what we want. So
right. That's go time then.
Yeah, it's like, let's try to ramp this team up. Of course, you would think a ramp would not start with Folsom, De La Salle, and Bosco. So it's
we'll get to that.
It's like a cliff. But anyway, we're excited about the season. Yeah, it's
great.
exciting.
And so you have a smaller roster than typical, right? About 70 rostered players. Has that been easier to organize?
Yeah, I mean it's different, and yes, there's less players, which
it's typically 100, right?
Yeah, over 90 or more.
Yeah.
So we have a very small senior class this year, and just by fate or whatever, just over the years, we Players have chosen other sports or transferred or whatever. So we have a very small senior class relative to last year. We had 40 seniors.
That's huge.
So this year we have under 20.
Okay.
So that's pretty much where the delta is right now. But it's been great. I mean, we get to know kids on a deeper level. It's been a bit nice to not, just logistically there's less kids and less mouths to feed and all that. But
Sure.
we don't cut people here at Serra. We don't cut on the freshman, JV, or varsity. If players want to come and don the Serra helmet and they meet all the objectives and make a commitment to the team, then they're on the team.
Perfect.
So that's always been kind of one of our philosophies here.
Well, yeah, and I remember early on in the summer, you created the accountability board, right? And so you really kind of drilled that in,
Right.
The commitment from day one. So I'm sure that really,
Right. We had 29 workouts this summer, and we would start, and we go in the mornings. We do dawn patrol, so right around 6 a.m. guys are they get to mark their number on the board, and I'll bring that to chapel tomorrow and remind them, like, you guys have put in the work, and now it's time to play football.
It's great.
Football is an awful sport that way. It's baseball is 162 games and basketball is 81 games and at the pro level, and we have 10, and that's 10 of 52 weekends is not a lot of games.
Right. That's a hard measure.
It's a very hard measure. That's why I think Americans love it. It's an all or nothing game. Every game counts. Every game matters. There's no, let's bench our starters like the NBA does.
Right.
No, it's like, let's go. It's time to play.
Yeah.
And we're at that time where, we've put in the work. It's, kickoff's 48 hours away against a great team. So we're excited.
Great. Well, it's exciting to get back into it. So just overall, just if you can give us, nobody knows anything about this team. So tell us our strengths, our weaknesses, and just kind of like what your kind of team mottos are. I know we've had, you always come up with a pretty unique slogan. So
yeah, I mean, we're replacing 11 starters on offense. And so in 23, we had a ton of seniors, and on offense, we replaced those ton of seniors with a ton of seniors. Like I told you, we had 40 seniors on our team last year. So while we have some players like Isaiah Singleton, Leimani have played some offense, basically it's a brand new offense. So
wow.
That's right. So, and that's going to be interesting. There's, obviously playing three of the best teams in the state of California, some in the country. So that's going to be, baptism by fire for us on that side of the ball for sure. Defensively, we do have some returning starters, most of which were sophomore starters last year.
That's right.
So we still have a young offense and a young defense, but our young defense has more experience than our young offense. That's the way it is with Malachi Taufo and Cornell James at corner, and Gio played a few games last year. Sadly, got hurt, but he'll be back out there. He's one of our great football players. Dylan Medina, Aaron Meyer, Peyton Thomas. Just thinking of the guys off the top of my head. Of course, I think I said Malachi Taufo, but if I didn't, he's a safety and
Right.
clearly one of our better players. So our defense has more experience than our offense.
That's great.
Kicking wise, Saul Marks is back.
Nice.
Which is exciting. And I think kickers, they're offensive players because they score points, but to me, they're also really strong defensive players because, if you kick the ball 61 yards into the end zone, it's a touchback, which is a weapon for defenses because it's hard to go 80 yards. It's easier to go 20 yards than 80, of course. But, having the ability for Saul with a powerful leg to put the ball in the end zone, he's a good punter. And also, we'll be taking more cracks at field goals this year because he's got the leg to do it.
It's great.
So, yeah. So it's I'm really excited about our special teams game. Charlie right now is the holder, Charlie Walsh, and
Nice.
we have Ike Josephson is a really, really good, strong long snapper. So I feel good about our battery,
great.
snap to catch to hold. Ike is also our long snapper in the punt game. So we have some, people sleep on special teams. We don't. I always.
You've always said that.
With Coach
It's great.
Ortiz, it's the fastest way to lose a game, and that's what we try to avoid. And it can also happen to help you win a game every once in a while, but it's definitely the fastest way to lose a game. A poor punt, getting a punt blocked, poor kickoff coverage, getting a field goal blocked. Like these are the things that scare me and keep me up at night this time of year.
And talk about the offense. Who's throwing the ball and who are our receivers?
Yeah, so we've had a really good quarterback battle this summer. Caleb Bandel, Christian Solano. Kobe Trinidad transferred from St. Francis. He's been getting some reps in the summertime, but he's not going to be eligible right away because of the transfer rules in the state. And then we have a freshman named Will Orr, Jr. He's been getting some reps in the later part of the summer here as a quarterback. So he's another talented guy. So we've had a really
Nice to have 4.
It's nice. Yeah, it's nice to have depth with
Yes.
some guys. Caleb right now is a little bit ahead of the other 3 at the moment. So he'll be playing a lot this weekend, but I wouldn't be surprised to see multiple quarterbacks.
Great.
Yeah.
That's good news for us.
Yes,
Right?
exactly. That's not a position you hold your breath and just hope that, the starter never gets hurt and, doesn't have anything going on the weekend. But, thankfully we with Coach Bell, we're building some depth there at that position as well.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, and then wide receivers, we have a couple seniors on the outside with Brody Smith and Mateo Gamblin have some seniors that have come back, had some experience last year playing. Okay. So that's good. They weren't starters, but they're coming back. And then Jace Cannon and Charlie are, kind of the interior slot players. But we have other players that can get in there and help out and play. So we have some depth at the wide receiver position. And then at running back, we have Drew, Isaiah Singleton, who actually anyone on offense has the most experience.
Yeah, he's really good.
And Gio.
Great.
Yeah.
And Gio. He plays both ways, right?
He's a two-way player for sure. Exactly.
Awesome.
So, yeah, there's a lot to look forward to.
Sounds good. All right. Well, so tomorrow night will be your first chapel of this season. It's going to look a little different. Can you talk about the meaning of chapel and what it's going to look like this year, please?
Yeah, chapel is, I think, it's the differentiator between what we do at Serra and what, other programs have their own probably things that they can say makes them different. But for us, chapel is what makes us unique. It's the opportunity for, young boys to grow into men, to express their feelings, to, get into a safe place, a sacred place where they can, truly be themselves with their brothers and form the relationships that we hope last a lifetime. If we go 0-10 this year and there's, 10 guys in Charlie's wedding that all played Serra football, then I would say this year's a success.
Perfect.
Life is long and it's all about relationships and it's about love for one another and building deep bonds, daily. And, there's material stuff at the end of the day really doesn't matter. The scoreboard at the end of the day really doesn't matter. The scoreboard doesn't matter if the fabric of the team is wrong. Now, we don't plan on going 0-10, and I'm just saying that to emphasize a point that chapel for us is, we're 1,000-0 on the scoreboard if it comes to how we measure what we do in terms of building men, emphasizing what it means to be a true man. And sometimes that requires tears in front of your peers. Sometimes it requires being vulnerable. Sometimes it requires, telling, a community that you're struggling and that things are not good. And that to us, that's the mark of a man. And using that as a foundation to build strength. So, we can build men for the future. And that's what I think our school does great. We're an all-boys school, and it's not just happening in our chapel. It's happening in Kevin Carey's classroom, and
Absolutely.
It's happening all across, Perry Carter and all the wonderful teachers we have out there that are saying the same thing I'm saying through world history and math and everything that we do on that side of the building that we say in chapel. So it's just an extension of what we are as a school and our purpose here.
That's great. I know I heard a few stories from your fun alumni football night at McGovern's last weekend. And, Logan Wolf, our alumni director, was saying that, the theme that he consistently heard is just how you build team with chapel.
Right.
It was just a really great evening for you, all I heard.
Yeah, and it was. And
lifelong friends.
Lifelong friends. And the only kind of sad part about the whole thing is this will be our first chapel in a first season without Father Joe, because he passed in the off season. We did a beautiful ceremony for him at St. Gregory's, and it's going to be, I'm not a Catholic priest. I'm not, I'm not Father Joe, and it's an irreplaceable position. It's an irreplaceable human.
Absolutely.
So it's gonna be different. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard on me because, chapel for me has been a place where I can be vulnerable and let Father Joe lead the charge. And, I can sit there with my own thoughts and my own fears and my own anxieties and my own issues. And I'm not going to be able to do that this year. I'm going to have to be, I would call myself an imposter, which is a harsh word but as I compare
Father
myself
Joe's
to
laughing
Father,
at you right now. So just
welcome. He is.
the spiritual warrior is laughing
Yes.
at the imposter.
I am not going to profess to even be anything remotely close to that man, but I'm going to do the best I can to lead these guys as Father Joe would in what we call like the most important thing that we do in our program.
That's great. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate that,
Yeah.
very touching part of the program and bringing that up. So let's get to tomorrow the freshmen play
Yeah.
Folsom High School, and we play on Saturday at 2 p.m. here at Serra.
Yeah.
It is going to be a great game. They have a very good team. We have a very good team. Tell us a little about what you're expecting and how you guys are preparing.
Yeah, Folsom is fantastic. Paul Doherty and Justin Peterson, the staff up there it's fantastic, and they do high school football extremely well. From the ground up, from the junior Bulldogs to their strength classes, they run next level. I mean, they're all in on football. They're absolutely fantastic, and it shows.
Yeah, definitely.
You can see at the freshman level, these guys have been playing together for 8 years, or like they're only 14. Like, what's going on? So it's a fantastic program, and the games that we've had the last 3 years have just been like they've all come down to the wire. They've been amazing high school football games. And I know they know that, and we know that, and I know their quarterback, who's fantastic. He's going to BYU. Ryder Lyons is one of the great quarterbacks that this area's ever seen. He's dynamic. He's a great leader. He's probably someone I would love to play for if I was thinking back in my high school days. Like, he's just someone that energizes an entire city, energizes the team, energizes fan bases. He's electric. He's a great football player.
That's great.
So in terms of high school football, those are thinking about whether or not to come to Serra on Saturday. I think, to watch great high school football and watch a great player like Ryder. He's a great player. And, unfortunately for us, he's got a ton of great players around him too.
I know there's a few that can catch that ball.
Yeah, exactly. So, their team, always kind of goes, and in football, in this sense, always goes with the quarterback. And so you can tell that the spirit of their team runs through that quarterback, and rightfully so. So, our defense, we do have some experience. Coach Mons is a great D coordinator. We got our work cut out for us on Saturday. This is a fantastic. They go fast. So they're a tempo offense, which means they get up on the ball, and the minute the referee pulls his hands off the ball, they're moving.
Wow.
So it's going to test our communication. It's going to test our, getting in and out of personnel groups. It's going to test our eyes. It's going to test our conditioning. So it's going to be difficult. And we knew that. We've known that for 3 years. The quarterback they had 3 years ago I think he's at Alabama right now. So this is a program that continues to reload and reload. Many of their skill players are back from last year, so they have a ton of experience. Their offensive line is good. Their defense is great. They played great defense last week against Grant. And I know that they're working on filling whatever holes they do have, which aren't many. So it's gonna be a tough test for us. I like to schedule the preseason the way I do. I like to say we're not trying to stack wins around here, and we're trying to prepare ourselves for the WCIL. And a game like this is going to show every blemish, every wart, every scar. It might show a couple dimples and the smiles here and there, the things that we're good at as well. But it's definitely a mirror type game where it's like, I'm using this as an opportunity to look at ourselves. Like, who are we? Are we a tough organization? This is what I say a lot around here. If I think back on this is my 25th season, if someone said, that Serra team is really tough and they're really organized, that would give me a lot of joy.
Right.
So I'm always trying to create an environment where we are a tough organization through physical toughness, through mental toughness. Those are the two areas, spiritual toughness, like how we control ourselves. Like, are we getting 15-yard penalties? Are we, who are we? Like, what do we stand for? And toughness comes in many forms. And then organization is, do we have 11 players on the field?
Right.
I mean,
at the bare minimum organization.
Yeah, we need 11 players on kickoff team
Yeah.
and not 10 or 12 and those are, I don't take those things for granted. I mean, I've watched, professional games where a field goal block team had 12 players on the field. The guy misses the field goal to win the game, basically, but they had 12 on the field.
Right.
It's unbelievable, right? And these are professionals.
Sure.
This is like it's my biggest fear. That my heart just sank just thinking about losing a game like that. And then, they get to re-kick it, they make it, and they lose the game. That's the organizational part, how we communicate, right? Life's relationships all boil down to communication. And that's where we build trust, and that's where we build, the love that we have for one another. But when you look at it in a football game, does the right tackle talk to the left tackle? Does the right tackle have the same call as the left tackle? That hasn't happened all the time. Mm-hmm. That's a communication thing. That's being organized. And with team with very little experience, let's say, in a massive game like this, that's something that I'm interested in. Right. Are we organized? Can we talk to one another? Or are we going to live in our lone little silos where it's like, I knew my block.
Right.
Like, well, it doesn't work like that. This is the ultimate team game. This isn't golf. This isn't tennis. This is football. And, what I think we need to think, being the players across the board. So that's what I'm most looking forward to. I'm excited to compete again. It's been a long off season. It's fun to compete. It's fun to, kind of run around and sweat and get on the sideline and yell and make friends with the referees. It's just, I'm excited to kick off the 2025 season. I think we all are, and we're, not scrimmaging. I think it's just kind of like, oh man, we're tired of practicing
the same routes.
Let's go.
That's
so
great.
Yeah.
Well, you took my last question, which was about, why you choose to do such, powerhouse teams in the preseason. I think that's a great answer and a great philosophy or strategy, I should say. Yeah. Let's talk leadership for a second, just in general. Yeah. Who are our team leaders? Have you named captains? Have you identified any?
Yeah. So I've done captains. It's different every year.
Yeah, I remember that last year was really unique too.
Yeah, last year was unique.
Did captain team, I think, right?
Yeah, well, the year before we had 12. We had a captain's council.
Oh, that was it. The captain's council.
In 23.
Getting my years mixed up.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, like you said, we're growing
getting old.
But we have last year we had 4 captains, and then we added a 5th captain, then we added a 6th captain because they earned it, and then there's been some years where I've named 0 captains, and that's what we're doing this year. I've not named any captains.
Okay.
And that's not a mark on the team. That's not because we don't have any leaders or I hate the team or something weird.
Right.
It's just I don't feel like I don't feel like anyone or a group of people like 12 seniors or something like that has emerged to where we need to do that. So everyone's a captain or no one's a captain, depending on how you look at it.
Right.
So at this point, I could change my mind week 1 or week 2 or. I got meerkats who have been there all summer. I might have a meerkat walking out to do the coin flip this year. Like,
that's great.
We're all part of it together.
I love that.
So yeah, I think, sometimes, the captains type stuff can get weird.
Sure.
Be
more divisive than uniting.
Yeah, it can be divisive, and I don't want that. This is, we're the Padres.
Yeah.
And whoever walks out there to do the coin flip is the people walking out there to do the coin flip. Yeah. I've done that each week where I'd pick a scout team player who, really stood out. They get to be the captain that week. So
that's great.
That's my plan right now.
I love it. Well, I applaud you on your ability to always pivot and always analyze. And I guess that's really the game of football altogether, right? Is play by play and, making, decisions on the fly and stuff. So I applaud you for that. We're all very excited for Folsom's game. We have a lot to talk about this season. We'll get into more in the coming weeks, but everybody's welcome to come to Serra High School. The fun starts at 11 with JV, 2 p.m. for varsity. Get your tickets on GoFan. Yeah. And go Padres. Looking forward to it.
Let's go. Looking forward to 2025.
It's going to be great.
Let's go.